And that was in 1994.
94 I started.
94.
From
So
a very small.
there was camels on the streets of Dubai.
I absolutely were. I mean, absolutely. When we started in Sharjah, the workshop, I started from a very small workshop with 3 people, and I remember that it was there were not much of roads there. It was a little bit of off-road and gravel sort of a thing where the warehouses were built.
And it's about recruiting the best people to drive your business.
Absolutely.
You cannot drive a business alone. So you become that recruiter, and the minute that you get the right people in, that's when you see the business grow.
Absolutely, which I'm experiencing after a long time now. So got the right people, right mindset, we got right partners, we got the right products, and maybe I've been a little bit more matured now in my experiences from past over 30 years into this industry.
And I believe that as well. I believe that, if you get the right people, they are able to grow the company with you.
Absolutely.
And it's the only way.
Absolutely. No matter if you have less skills, doesn't matter. We all may have the same, we may not have the same skills, but the only thing what I always used to expect is that the right attitude and a little bit of trust. One of our senior uncles who was in Sharjah, he actually got me here, and in Bombay I actually started my business in Bombay at a very young age of 19 years. I started my first car air conditioning business, and due to some challenges we had, I came to Dubai and wanted to explore more in Dubai.
Yeah, and that's what I found with a lot of Corporate Connections members, and they always tell me, it's about the experience. Someone can tell you no, but you're probably going to do it anyway and try it out for yourself. So it's about having that experience with yourself and your business and learning along the way.
Absolutely. It's not that all the decisions and all the businesses what you do are going to be successful, and I'm sure there are failures, and I've seen a lot of failures as well.
Welcome back to Corporate Connections UAE, the show where we sit down with the brilliant minds of our community and find out the real stories behind their business. I'm Nadia Francesca, your host, and today's guest is the one and only Manoj Aswani to tell us about his love for automobiles, for off-roading, for anything to do with an engine from what I see. I'm so excited to have you here.
Likewise.
It's a pleasure to have you on the Corporate Connections podcast, and I'm excited to find out more about you. Before we do, I'd like to ask you a few questions.
Please.
Questions that I ask all of my members. And the first one is, what's the one belief that changed everything for you?
I believe in God, and I believe in His plans. So when I came here, looking into the opportunities, I realized very early that I'm in the right business, in the right place in the UAE. So I had good confidence that yes, that this is this business what I am in, and of course we diversified after some time. But I believe that I'm going to do something great over here.
Amazing. And we're going to find out more about your businesses. So I'm very excited. And my second question is, what do you know that you wish you knew at the start? Many, right?
I would say identifying the right partners, right people to work for you, and right products or services what you are. They really matter actually. And that makes your professional journey much more easier, stable, and meaningful. That is what I believe.
And I believe that as well. I believe that, if you get the right people, they are able to grow the company with you.
Absolutely.
And it's the only way.
Absolutely. No matter if you have less skills, doesn't matter. We all may have the same, we may not have the same skills, but the only thing what I always used to expect is that the right attitude and a little bit of trust, having faith and trust among our partners or the people what we work with them on a day-to-day basis.
Yeah. There's a famous businessman, and he says that, as an owner or a boss, you become a recruiter. And it's about recruiting the best people to drive your business.
Absolutely.
You cannot drive a business alone. So you become that recruiter. And the minute that you get the right people in, that's when you see the business grow.
Absolutely. Which I'm experiencing after a long time now. So got the right people, right mindset, we got right partners, we got the right products, and maybe I've been a little bit more matured now in my experiences from past over 30 years into this industry.
Yeah, and that's what I found with a lot of Corporate Connections members. And they always tell me, it's about the experience. Someone can tell you no, but you're probably going to do it anyway and try it out for yourself. So it's about having that experience with yourself and your business and learning along the way.
Absolutely. It's not that all the decisions and all the businesses, what you do, are going to be successful. And I'm sure there are failures, and I've seen a lot of failures as well. But the journey was good.
And it's still going good right now in Dubai.
Absolutely.
And I'm very excited. So as we carry on, Manoj, I would like you to tell our audience, what is it you do? And how did you even come to the UAE? How many years ago was it now?
It was nearly around 35 years.
25 years.
35.
Sorry, 35 years ago.
35 years, yeah.
So 35 years ago, you came to the UAE. So tell us, what brought you here and what are the businesses that you do right now?
Okay, a good question asked. I actually landed here in 1992. One of our senior uncles who was in Sharjah, he actually got me here. And in Bombay, I actually started my business in Bombay at a very young age of 19 years. I started my first car air conditioning business. And due to some challenges we had, I came to Dubai and wanted to explore more in Dubai. So he got me here and he told me that, why don't you, train yourself, work over here, get some good experience, and you're very young. And I believe that what you are into, you will definitely be successful. So when I came here in 1992, I worked here for like a couple of years, and then I started my business in 1994. I never looked back. I just fell in love with the place and what we were doing. And there was always, like when you are a startup, there were a lot of challenges, and a lot of opportunities to work with. So yeah, that was my journey.
And that was in 1994.
I started.
94.
So
So
very small.
there was camels on the streets of Dubai.
I absolutely were. I mean, absolutely. When we started in Sharjah, the workshop, I started from a very small workshop with 3 people, and I remember that it was there were not much of roads there. It was a little bit of off-road and gravel sort of a thing where the warehouses were built. And it was a very different experience.
Yeah, so this gets me to where he is with his off-roading stuff, right? He
Absolutely.
finds a warehouse off-road and then builds, or
I didn't
let's say
choose that.
starts distributing
No,
4x4.
I didn't choose that. We had no options because we had limited money, so we had to go inside rather than being on the main road.
Yeah. And what is it you do today then? So from that warehouse, that workshop that you had, what was that doing? Was that doing the automobiles?
So we started in 1994 with automotives only, and I started from doing some paints, touch-ups, painting work. That was actually till today also. That is one of our we are known for that. And as things started progressing, we got into these small accessories and small fit outs what we were doing. And I was quite lucky because when we started, we had some customers who were supplying cars into Africa and Asia. So there we got the opportunity. And today I am here in Dubai. We have a base. We have 3 businesses basically. So one business we do more of local 4x4 accessories fit outs, and the other business what I have with Ironman 4x4, which is a JV, we do distribution of the 4x4 products and services into the Middle East, Africa, and now in India. And DAW, which is the vehicle conversions, we do special vehicle conversions into Africa. And UN vehicles, we build like ambulances, mobile workshop, police cars, and aid and development vehicles.
So it's very diverse.
It's diverse, yes.
And there's many different businesses within your businesses
But
itself.
each business complements each other.
Yeah. So being in the automotive industry, you've worked across automobiles, mining, defense, international aid, and most people spend a whole career in just one industry.
Yeah.
So how did you end up covering so much ground, and what did each chapter teach you?
It was a good journey there because I believe in one good thing leads to the other. So when we got the opportunity with doing some small products for aid and development, like a small, like, fabrication, which we were good at, and then that actually opportunity lead us to the other areas like mining industry. And those days from Dubai, like in 2010, I remember, after the recession 2010, there was an opportunity open for vehicles going into Africa, and they needed these special special modifications as a turnkey solutions for them. And that is what we started working. And maybe later stage we had this kind of Ebola, if you know, where we did a lot of ambulances for Africa. And that actually is like, and one good things leads to the other.
Yeah. So let me get this right. You actually build them here in the
Absolutely,
UAE,
absolutely.
and then you transport them to
Absolutely.
Africa.
Yes. And we have a full-fledged facility in Jablali, where we do our product distributions of Ironman 4x4, as well as we do the conversions of the vehicles. And being in Dubai Jablali Free Zone, which is it's the center of the logistic hub, where it makes easier for the customers also to ship the vehicles out of Dubai.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So it's the perfect hub for it.
Absolutely. And we believe in this place. We love this place. We believe in this place.
Yeah, it's been good to a lot of us, hasn't it? It's a very
and by
good
the
for
way,
business.
by the way, we are building a very big facility in Jafsa, our own facility in Jafsa. We're going to build the full facility and everything under one roof. And
amazing. So when will that be
so
open?
we are already through with the permissions and stuff. Hopefully by next July, we will have the facility up and running, which is nearly 100,000 square feet, 68,000 built area, with having all our corporate office and everything, with the workshops, fabrication center, logistic, and distribution.
And the 4x4, right?
Absolutely.
Okay, so getting on to the 4x4.
Yes.
When I came to your warehouse,
Yes.
I think it was in the free zone, right?
Yes.
And I want you to tell us about Ironman 4x4 and how did you actually, because this is actually an Australian brand, so
Yes.
you brought it over for distribution in the Middle East.
Yes.
And tell me about this, because I think you might have a passion for off-roading as well.
Absolutely. And I believe that it came through as a luck. And I met the owners of Ironman at the Auto Mechanica show in Dubai, where it's a B2B show, where I met them. And we had a very good one-to-one open discussions and what we are doing and what is the plan. I was like, say, about 16 years younger those days. And the owner of the Ironman was also very good and helpful and somewhat click, and and we are here today. We started as a distributor. So from 2010 till 2007, we started as a distributor, and then we saw that bigger opportunity. And that's the reason then in 2017, we did a joint venture. So now that Ironman, we distribute into Middle East and certain parts of Africa and in India.
Amazing.
Yeah. It's been a good journey.
It's been a very good journey.
Yeah.
And tell me about your passion for, have you got a passion for the 4x4s itself?
Absolutely.
Do you have one yourself?
Absolutely. I was driving an FJ Cruisers, Jimny. I love anything is 4x4 because, and this part of the world is actually the place to be, especially if you're doing 4x4s and off-roading.
Yeah.
And the sands are good, the dunes are beautiful. So yeah, I'm a passionate 4x4 driver. I have a Land Cruiser where I actually do a good dune bashing, you can say, or whatever you can say, funny things we do. And also even and it really gives me an idea about understanding the product and services, what we do and what the customer also wants.
Yeah.
So it actually, is complements to what we do, and the passion also brings. and even the passion brings me a lot of good energy as well, you know. So have you been to desert?
I have been in the desert. You know what? As much as you think it's like easy, it's actually not easy to drive in the desert. I remember we got stuck on like some kind of like sand hill,
Yeah,
and we were like
yeah.
this. And I was like, are we going
Oh.
to get out, or do we need to get out now before it tips?
No. I mean, of
But
course,
we managed to get
of course,
out.
sometimes, yeah, it's sometimes you never know, but mainly the vehicles are equipped in such a way that they will not. If the driver does some funny thing, you never know,
Yeah.
but they will never tip, and that's the reason we have all the equipments to take you out from the position where you were, like, you know, vehicle has got stuck.
Mm-hmm.
So we got the shovels, we got the board, we got everything, you know,
Oh,
to
wow.
the recovery gears to bring you out, the winch basically, or maybe
Mm-hmm.
other car towing you out of that, from that in that condition. So we got that's the beauty about this business I really love. Coming back to motorcycling, that's my hobby. I love to motorcycle from a kid. I started riding, and I've got good bikes actually. I've got 3-4 bikes with me, and
So, what bikes have you got? Because I know we've probably got some bike lovers listening to this podcast right now.
Absolutely. So I have, my love is to the BMW 1250 Adventure. It's more of an on and off road where I like riding, and it's a long tourer also, you can say. And then I've got 2 big Harleys, which is I love them. It's like the cruiser bikes.
Yeah, I can picture
And
you on one of these actually.
absolutely, anytime. And the most important than so many years, I mean, I love to travel, and we ride outside, you know.
Yeah.
We go into other places, other countries, we do some cross country, and that also gives me a lot of peace, and, you know, and it's also learning and experience as well. It's building your own confidence as well, because you're riding at any terrains or any areas where, you know, in different countries, and different, maybe sometime it is raining, sometime you have fogs, sometime you have different conditions, so it brings your own it helps you to build your own experience riding as well.
Yeah, it does. And I think, I think it's all about experience, whether
Absolutely.
it's business, whether it's driving a Harley or whether it's driving in the
Absolutely.
sand dunes. I think it's all about experience. And, you can't teach experience.
You have to experience it.
Mm-hmm.
You have to take, of course, motorcycling is a little bit of adventure compared to a 4x4, but still, you know, I mean, if you ride and during the right times, and, you know, try and be safer. The best thing about motorcycling off-road, I like that you are totally focused. You know, you are focused. You are focused ahead of you, on the left side, on the right side, rear view, everything, because you have to be focused. And in the off-roading also, you never know which dunes you are going. The best thing about the off-roading also, like that, you don't know what's the how big is the dune is actually once you part that. Yeah.
I think, off-roading and biking is very much you're in survival mode, right? So
Absolutely.
like your antennas are on and you are like, okay, we're in survival mode now. But I guess it's the same as business, right? Because there's
Absolutely.
times in business that you become in that survival mode. And with the situation that's happened in the world, there's many people in that position right now in survival mode.
Absolutely. And I believe that no matter how smart you are, or how equipped you are, or whatever the resources you have, but if it is, you know, it's like if the situations are tough, it is situations tough for everybody. It's only I would say, you can gauge the level, how difficult, how small, or how it is. But we are still okay, I would say, this 3-4 months, because I've seen from last 30 years, I've seen quite a few things, you know. But it's just that I believe that these are temporary pains for a long-term gain, I would say.
And I believe that as well. I mean, we can look at COVID, can't we?
Absolutely.
And how people, if you came out of COVID alive,
Absolutely.
you did very well as a business owner. So
who remembers COVID now? Tell me. Who remembers? The memories are short.
Yeah, exactly. He
Absolutely.
remembers, and I'm like, I don't know.
And then it's the it's a like people say, survival of the fittest. So let's see now. Yeah.
And talking about that, so the surviving of the fittest, I can see that you've got a beautiful new logo for DAW.
Thank you.
So DAW is Automobile Assembly.
Yes.
That you started in 2012.
It was together, but then we made it as a separate entity in 2000. I think it was 11. I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
And been a distribution for all different regions, as you said before, like Africa. And just tell me a little bit more about what are the challenges of manufacturing in this region? So I know that you transport them to Africa, but what's the challenges that you have here in the UAE, if any?
I mean, I think I'm always being I always look into solutions and try to solve problems here. But there are not much of challenges, I would say. I mean, current set challenges are very different to the challenges. But I believe that there are opportunities also, because we are trying to build these vehicles as a turnkey solutions to supply to the customer or the end user. I would say basically into Africa. But the challenges we face at times, the stock vehicles are not available, there is a delay in shipping and maybe raw material. So that's the reason what we are trying to do is there are certain things which are coming from our partners from Ironman and which are not available, or which they don't do. We just do fabricating and just try and work it out over here and fix on the vehicles. That is what we try and do.
Yeah. And it's doable because you're doing it, right?
Absolutely.
But it's challenging at times. So
absolutely.
And how do you find dealing with those challenges yourself, or is this something where you're overseeing the business right now? Where are you in your business?
I would tell you, it's my nature. I don't say that I don't believe in on the business or in the business. I'm actually in and on the business actually. All right. So we have a team, we have people. I've got my daughter also in my business. She's been very, very helpful to me. And at times it is, when there is a real challenge, we discuss about it. But one thing I've decided is that we take a call. We take a call and we move forward, not looking at what is the result going to be. It's not going to be 100%, but at least we make a call. If suppose like current situation, there are the extra cost on shipping to import, and there are extra cost in exporting. So we try and, help. I mean, we try and chip in, and we say, rather we wait, rather we lose opportunities. So this is just the cost to the business we put, and we start moving, We don't want to stop here. In fact, now also our ordering and our, in fact, now we have a lot of, we were actually closing a lot of orders, but unfortunately for this reason, but I'm very positive. I'm bullish that this will come through in the next couple of months. So back to the grind, I would say.
Definitely. I do think it's all going to come back.
Yeah.
And it's probably going to be less than months, I think, away.
Absolutely.
I do believe that. Well, it's been a pleasure. And I've got one more question to ask you. How much does that personal passion drive you the way you run your business?
See, basically in off-road, it's my business of, doing parts and fitments and, so it actually gives me, I look into the business of off-road is basically because I passionately drive, and I do really hard beating. So I get to, test my products also before we give it to the customer. So when I am satisfied and in the different conditions, I would say, and then it gives me to an understanding more about actually what is required in the market. What should we get more? So it's not only there's a big SKU of parts, and gives me a little bit insight when I'm in ground, in the desert, or meeting people and testing the vehicles. That gives me a really, really good first-hand information, and gives me more confidence that we can sell anything.
Yeah, and I guess you can sell it to your friends, but Absolutely. As well as that, it brings passion to selling it, right? Because it's like if I find a good product or something good in the market, I'm like, guys, you need to get this.
Absolutely.
I mean, I am selling someone else's product at that point, right? But you can do it to your own products.
Yes, absolutely. No, passion, and I would say the skills of selling actually, that really helps. It has to be both.
Yeah.
Only the passion would not, but the skills of selling also is very important.
Yeah, but making sure the product works and actually is
100%.
good, right? One piece of advice you will give to anyone out there building their empire?
I'm actually not that qualified to give that, but I will tell you my experience actually, because I believe in any business, because I'm not into our business is more of, product manufacturing, fixing, it's more of a brick and mortar business. I believe in long-term business. There's no short-term. And I learned one thing from my business partners many years back, that Manoj, you should bring your focus to your focus. So I tell the youngsters or who want to get into business that don't get distracted, and don't get distracted to anything. If you know the product is good and you believe, I think you should stick into the game and be there for long. In the long term, definitely it will work. Short-term gains are there, but don't distract yourself when somebody's doing very good. You just focus what you have, what you can do. And of course, if required, take some experience of experienced people, not in the similar industry. Similar would help, like it's helping me now, but it would really help.
Yeah, I totally agree with that as well. I think you've got to look at the long term.
Absolutely.
And drive that business and make it grow.
Look at me, I'm 50, I've turned 56 now. For my family business from Bombay, my father's business, my father and uncles were into gas station parts and transport business. I've seen that, but I started from scratch in the UAE. So it's more than nearly 40 years, if you say. I've seen this. I've never ever in my dreams also thought of doing anything else apart of the automotive business.
And that's where the passion comes from.
Absolutely.
Well, it was an absolute pleasure, Manoj, to have you on the podcast.
Thank you, Nadia. It was so nice to talk to you and meet you.
And hopefully we'll get you back on.
Absolutely.
So if you are into motorbikes, if you are into off-road, motorbikes you can talk to because it's a passion. Off-road, Ironman, this is your man.
Absolutely.
And DAW is his new logo on his t-shirt, which you can see. I love it. You know what?
It's been done by the designers and my daughter together, and we found a little bit change. That's right.
It's great and it stands out.
Thank you.
And I love the colours. I just love navy blue.
I carry this with
Navy
pride.
blue and orange.
I carry this with pride.
Well, you should, especially if your daughter was involved.
Absolutely.
Having a business where family are involved.
Absolutely.
Growing the business not only in the UAE but also in Africa as well, because that's where you transport some of your goods to. And it's been an absolute pleasure. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Nadia, once again.
And thank you so much. And we will be seeing you on the next Corporate Connections UAE podcast with another of one of our special members from our community. So I'll see you next time.